This grid maps out an average human lifespan. There are exactly 30,000 dots here, with each dot representing a single day. That is the hard mathematical limit of your time. If you are 30 years old, you have already used up 11,000 of those days. They are gone. Your brain naturally ignores this math. It relies on the word someday to create a psychological buffer. We tell ourselves we will start that project, take that trip, or repair that relationship someday, operating as if our supply of days is infinite. This remaining time feels shorter than the dots suggest because the biological pace at which we experience life accelerates as we age. A single summer day felt like a week in childhood, but as an adult, entire years seem to pass like a few short months. Human existence occurs inside this hard, absolute boundary. Operating on the default setting of someday ensures that you squander the exact resource you are running out of. This timeline visualizes the time unit paradox, the neurobiological mechanism your brain uses to record reality. Your brain measures time by documenting new data. During childhood, almost everything you encounter is a brand new experience, forcing your perception of time to stretch out. As we transition into adulthood, we fall into routines. The same breakfast, the same morning commute, the same nightly shows. Because nothing is novel, your brain goes on autopilot and skips the recording process for these moments. This is time blindness. Staying firmly in a comfort zone deprives the brain of new data to record. The result is years of blank space that collapse together, making your life feel shorter as you live it. A predictable adult life is biologically engineered to make your remaining days vanish in a blur. You can reverse time blindness by manually forcing your brain to record new data. This requires stepping into the adjacent possible, taking a different route to work, learning a minor skill, or having a conversation with a stranger. Seeking out that novelty requires significant cognitive effort. Managing your physiological energy is more vital to this process than managing your schedule. High cognitive function relies on physical inputs. Consistent sleep prevents decision-making from degrading to intoxication, and frequent micro-movements throughout the day, like 10 push-ups or a 5-minute stretch, will compound to sustain your mental clarity. You can protect this energy by using strategic incompetence. By intentionally choosing to be deliberately bad at those non-essential tasks, you ensure others stop asking you to do them, keeping your cognitive reserves intact for choices that matter. Ultimately, mastering your remaining lifespan means prioritizing your physiological energy and cognitive novelty over the efficiency of a daily calendar. This chart tracks financial income against mandatory working hours. As income rises, lifestyle inflation follows. A bigger house requires more maintenance, and a better neighborhood means longer commutes. The secondary bar rises in tandem with earnings, leaving high earners with zero net free time. Real relationship wealth functions like a bank account that runs on consistent small daily deposits. A random check-in text or remembering a minor detail about someone's week builds more equity than a single expensive celebration. However, there is a counterintuitive side to these deposits. Navigating a stressful project or enduring a tough life event together cements a stronger relational bond than sharing a pleasurable experience like a vacation. True wealth is time affluence, the freedom to invest unhurried attention into daily connections without the maintenance costs of expensive objects. Your internal emotional state has a biological timer. When you feel a surge of anger or fear, the chemicals responsible for that reaction flush out of your body in exactly 90 seconds. Once that initial 90-second chemical wave passes, your biology is clear. Lingering in that negative state for the rest of the day is a voluntary choice. This relates to emotional debt. When you avoid a difficult, uncomfortable conversation, that unresolved issue compounds, draining your focus behind the scenes until the issue is addressed. Mastering emotional regulation prevents the loss of productive hours to avoidable mental exhaustion. View your life as a dynamic portfolio of distinct skills, relationships, and novel experiences that you actively design. You can avoid the paralysis of trying to figure everything out by running 5-minute micro-experiments. These small tests show you if a new habit or interest works in practice before you commit to a massive life plan. Part of this design process is deliberate amateurism. Choosing to be a beginner at certain hobbies keeps your ego in check and forces your brain to remain flexible, ready to absorb new patterns. Taking immediate micro-actions shatters the illusion of someday. You move from conceptualizing a life to building one. Most people accept default societal metrics, measuring their worth by status or bank balances. You can choose to design your own benchmarks for fulfillment instead. Constraints like limited money, spot resources, or a strict deadline force the brain into creative solutions. Shakespeare's sonnets serve as historical proof. The absolute limits of meter and rhyme didn't stifle his writing. Those boundaries forced his creative solutions to emerge. Your 30,000-day limit is the ultimate constraint. This hard limit gives your daily choices weight and value. Knowing your days are strictly numbered makes them valuable. Because time is a finite resource, today is the only day you need to conquer.